Welcome back to the most professional StarCraft 2 with the reigning world champion, the Terran in the blue from Team Liquid. It's Clem, facing off against arguably the best Protoss player in the world. In the red, the smiling assassin, we have herO. In a best of 5, Terran versus Protoss grand finals between Clem's near-perfect Terran and herO's reckless aggression. We've got a clash of titans, a clash of generations, a clash of styles. And hopefully you win your clash with apathy. And smash that like button. And maybe even subscribe. Jimmy, what are we? 1,550 likes. And I'll cast another one. And just something special for today. As of recording this, Jimmy's telling me we're about to hit 250,000, 250,000 subscribers. So I want to thank you for watching. Hopefully the first of many quarters of millions. As we continue. It's been over 10 years now. So only really considering YouTube full-time for a few of them. But I hope you've enjoyed. I hope it's made a lot of your days a little bit better. And I hope to continue to do so into the future. So thank you for watching. I hope this makes your day a little bit better. Reaper Hellion from Clem. A TVT-style build back at home. herO with a Twilight Council tucked into the corner. herO always a little sneaky about those things. And why not? Why just give away information? If you're not... The positioning of the Twilight Council is not that important. You don't need it to wall off, usually. If you hide it in the back corner, there's a chance it goes unscouted. And there's that little bit of extra ambiguity on whether you're actually going blink. He is. Because of course he is, but... Clem? 4 Reapers and 2 Hellions. Just jumping right into the main via the employee entrance. No wall. And the probes, he's just gonna fight the stalkers. The 2 Hellions come in, caught between the fire and the flames, but a Guardian Shield and a Shield Battery able to overlap, and now he goes for the probes. Shield Battery in the main base, but this is so much firepower, puns intended, that the probes are unable to be re-shielded in time. But so far, herO actually mitigating this very well. Energy recharge on the shield battery. 5 probes dead. But at what cost? Huh. That was 4 Reapers and 2 Hellions for 5 probes. He didn't even kill the Stalker at the front. Did he get a scout? He saw the Twilight Council. There's a Robo on the way at the back of the other base. He's got 4 gases. What? He's rushing Storm? I guess it could be Archons, but he's already got Blink on the way. Charge is not going to line up. This much gas? Well, the reason you don't usually go Storm against Terran is because in a standard game where nothing has happened, you're not going to have enough Templar. You're going to have like 5 Templar and 4 Gateway units, and you're going to mildly inconvenience a few Marines before they pick up into a medevac or just sidestep it slightly. But in this scenario where Clem has already committed to early aggression, it mostly failed, and now a key point is herO is working off the information that Clem has. He thinks it's going to be Blink. Look at this main base, the literal production line, the way he's set it up so that way the siege tank is zoned out from everything. So herO knows he probably has an extra couple minutes that you usually don't against this sort of build. Clem is going to be slowed down and defensive, just anticipating something like a Max Bag style Blink. But herO instead is just going for Storm. A herO of the Storm, if you would. Did the Spylon spot the Liberator? The Stalkers are doing their mating dance. Will they, won't they? Occasionally they will, occasionally they won't. Both of them very clumsy. Too busy blinking to know where to go. But Storm is being chrono boosted out. Right now, herO has 4 High Templar and like 4 other units. He's rushing in towards the Warp Prism drop. herO and Warp Prisms have a very tough working relationship in that a lot of the times he hires the Warp Prisms to work for him and then flies them into Widow Mines or Vikings or missile turrets or Marines or Goat. You get the idea. So, tough indeed. But sometimes Well, it depends on what kind of hero we have today, or even this game. Do we have the Diamond League Disaster, or the generational Grandmaster? Hero somehow the arguably best Protoss player, and probably the most dangerous Protoss player for most of the last 10 years at this point. And like many Protoss players at the top level, he has good days and bad days. But I believe I'm paraphrasing Parting, the big boy, in directly saying that in order to play Protoss at the highest level, you have to be at least a little insane. Because so much of Protoss is reliant on effectively the poker game of imperfect information and surprise. Yeah, you expected storms. Well, guess what you got? You got a feedback on the Raven, which is certainly one way to open things up. herO, what are you doing? This isn't it. Like, Clem is already spread like a nice piece of buttered toast right now. Though the charge lots can help to exploit that and maybe give an opportunity for the storms to find more damage. Archon wandering in, more Templar from the left flank. More Templar, herO, more Templar from the left flank. They're just getting gunned down because the water balloons only do emotional damage. Archon take it out. Another Templar comes in. There's still 3 Templar in the field, a couple of them in the Warp Prism, the other one trying to avenge the others. He's still warping in. herO, you are down 20 supply, but he does not care because he's coming in for another round. Huge storms on the Whittle Mines and the Bio alike. The Whittle Mines, he actually dodged the mines with the Prism. Archon eats a hit. Charge lot zoning out. Clem has +1. herO doesn't even have a forge. Archon coming in again. He can maybe dodge shots. Yes, gets the Archon into the Prism. Charge lot's dodging out of the Liberator range. herO still going. Clem picks up a medevac and drops on the other side of the Liberators, and herO is beaten back for now. But that's never stopped him before. He's got a stick of bubblegum, which Protoss can't even enjoy. He's got a few shoelaces, and he's got a dream. So, we'll see. No, where are you going? It looks like he wants to keep attacking against Clem, who has more army supply, better upgrades, and a defensive position. He sees the Liberators repositioning. The Templar dropped out on the low ground, but I don't think he's complaining too much about that. Storm comes through, so Clem doesn't know that army's out there. He doesn't have that info. He just knocked out some observers because, you know, a sane person would have gone home. So he's got to rethink his analysis here. But he spots the army coming in. The Liberator going to take some pot shots, but the storms getting a lot of damage with the first deluge. Meanwhile, the Liberators are distracting all of the Archons. The Immortal trying to find any sort of connection. The charge lot zoned out. Widowmine takes down a medevac. Storms will work on another Archon hit by the mines. The damage is split. Doesn't pick up the Archon in time. Another Immortal, scouting Immortal walking up. Another Storm hits many of the SCVs. None of them go down, but the Vikings finally come out and knock the Prism out of the sky. And is that it without the Prism? Are you done? No, don't. herO, no. Another Storm. And the army there to zone it out. You know, part of herO's, part of why he's so effective is he's willing to take these risks. Now he's put the fear in Clem's heart. Or at least I'll pretend like he did. I doubt Clem is actually feeling it, but it sounds dramatic. He's put the fear in his heart that the moment he moves out, there's going to be 6 Templar waiting for our entire armada of storms. Very clean blink away. The medevacs are nearly out of energy from both the stims and the storms. Another picks off a Marauder, the amount of effort to go through, and guess what? Here's the army. One more Templar, a single sentry, Warp Prism rebuilt. herO's at 68 probes. Clem, dead even. He's now got some ghosts on the field, though. The flood of storms continues. A single Templar. He's flirting with the minefield. believe he knows about him. Literally going to the last possible pixel before the mines take him out. Another storm. He just keeps... Has he added a Robo Bay? No Robo Bay. Feedbacks. EMP after the feedback, though. Take it out more. Observer. And Clem has weathered the storm indeed, and now has built up that sort of army that Protoss players are going to struggle with without at least disruptors or Robo. The pre-MP, the Warp Prism almost take it out with the Templar inside. Gotta be very careful with him. The threat of storm is the only thing really keeping Clem at bay. Well, that and like 35 charge loss, but holding on to the snipes as well. As Clem tries to take a fourth base, herO has a fifth, and it's nearby. He's expanded directly towards this position, as clearly intent at keeping Clem at bay. Oh god, that Warp Prism. It's so important that at least he unloads the Templar. He does. Oh wow, the minefield just slams into the charge lots. Most of them getting taken out, but enough of them moving forward to maybe be able to take out this base. Are there any Templar with energy? It looks like no. Clem now opens up a 25 supply lead. And the constant aggression from herO suffering from some diminishing returns. He got double upgrades. Warp Prism knocked out of the sky. He's anticipating Colossi. That many Vikings. The obvious switch would be to Colossi here in order to deal with the ghosts. But Clem has already anticipated that, so herO just goes for Immortals on the ground, which the Vikings can drop down, but they're not particularly great at it. The Immortal count, 6 Immortals and counting. A second Robo and a Robo Bay is now on the way, but I think he wants to wipe out the Vikings first and then maybe make the switch. But herO, aggressively expanding. Clem, for the first time in this game, has found the opportunity to load up and maybe get out. What a game. herO. They're the only players who've been able to keep up with Clem in the past. I would say Max, Pax, Raynor, and to an extent StarCraft are usually just as fast and match him on the field. But herO, instead, is creating such a kerfuffle that Clem can't really do his multitasking. He's blinking forward, he's throwing so many charge lots into, like, that's a legitimately terrible position. They all die, but he gets the base. Was it worth it? He chews through most of the army, but Clem finally found space for a counterattack. Immediate recall, and a wave of stalkers is warped in. Blink won't even get one of the medevacs. Oh, if he knocks out one, it's so much easier to deal with. And now the stalkers are all trying to figure out how to blink into the main. Deep power some of the gates, and now Clem's on the attack to the north side. Immortals, stalkers, wipes it out of the sky. And another wave coming in. Snipes off a Templar, depowers the pylon, cancels the warp in. The Immortals are not, they need support. They're not here to take on the brunt of the army. They're here to make sure he can fight smaller amounts of it, but the Widow Mines will take out an Immortal, making its name a total lie. And 15 probes have been slaughtered throughout this. herO recovering just barely. Another set of snipes. You can technically snipe both Templar and charge lots, though it's considered to be somewhat rude. Ah, yes, this is obviously the position we should have put the Robo Bay in. Thank you for the tip, herO. Putting the Robo Bay in the most exposed base on the entire map. You know, it worked out, because if he had put it at his fourth or his third, it would have died. But, can't help but think herO just, like, didn't want to take the time to go back and build their butt. Clem now has the initiative. There are disruptors on the way, but disruptors and Clem just don't mix. And I don't mean that in a, oh no, it's a weird no. They just, he just dodges them. He dodges, he ducks, he dips, he dives, and he dodges. And it makes it look, the only player I've seen reliably land disruptor hits recently is Clem as Protoss. So, because this is true, he's not facing against Clem as Terran. So that makes it easier. Okay, that's a lie. herO against pretty much anyone who's not Clem. So there's a defining characteristic here. The flowchart is pretty simple. Clem, not Clem. All right, I'll climb up about it. Well, a lot of Clem's army is in a weird position. He has enough ghosts and marines. He wipes out the shields on the majority of the army, but the charge lots have more HP than shields. Double, in fact. 2 upgrades are done. He's just working on +3 attack. Clem is finished up. He's got +3 infantry weapons and armor done. Fadeaway shot comes up completely empty. Another shot actually clips some marauders. Another one. But he isn't picking off the ghosts. He isn't finding the big chunks of the army he needs to actually make a difference here. But he's going to try to turn it around. Whittle Mines will burrow. He's constantly producing 2 at a time. The splash damage. The EMPs. Just a tsunami of splash damage from the Terrans. And herO's supply is starting to dwindle. Another Ruptor from the north side. A Hail Mary. Well, completely silent like the Protoss themselves. He warps in a Templar energy, recharges it. A Storm to zone out. Interrupts the snipe with it. He has 1 more Storm ready. herO still has 71 probes to 63 SCVs, but he hasn't been reliably mining for quite a while. How many gates in total? Just 10 of them. I say just because that's kind of low for the late game. The medevacs are nearly out of energy. Another wave warped in, but herO is now pushed up against his own Nexus. The Liberators, a Venn diagram of freedom, liberating the area outside. Another Ruptor, completely empty. herO is expanding to the 12 o'clock base, because of course he is. But he's down 50 supply. Clem has weathered the storm and dodged the disruptors. He's cut down the charge lots and battled back the Blink Stalkers. And now, well, he just has to do it for a little longer. The entire army is coming back across the map. And an observer will spot that from herO, so he maybe has an opportunity. He's trying to turn this game sideways yet again. And maybe tilt Clem to the point where he can turn it around. But Clem kept enough army supply on the other side of the map. A disruptor just wandered out of the robo, but he recalls back to the natural. How much of it? Probe dodges the mine hit. There's another mine. Immortal will take it. This base, so optimistic. A robo-based army. Disruptor shot. It's actually quite an army here out of herO. He clips a ghost, but that was it there. Another Ruptor comes up, fires off the shot. He's trying to keep him at bay. Does he have another warp and ready? The charge lots are sprinting in. And herO still trying to turn this all around. But Clem has secured his position. He hasn't really been pushed back in a while. Just that northern base, and it cost herO everything to go for it. And another wave coming in. The Blink Stalkers again chasing. The medevacs are forced back. There's still a disruptor. And where's the army supply? A lot of the army supply from Clem coming in the back here. Another storm is ready, though. He's got it! Huge storm on the bio. Is there enough left over? The charge lot swinging into the south side. The Blink Stalker zoning out to the north. And herO still finding a way. 116 to 145 supply. But I've never seen a Protoss player able to overcome a gap like this against Clem like herO has. Where is Clem's army? I guess a lot of it. He has 11 medevacs, which are all well and good right up until they aren't. More Whittle Mines will connect, though, as herO is knocking on the door yet again. Let me in! Unfortunately, oh, the Whittle Mine, the EMPs, and the boys are absorbing so many hits. Another wave of charge lots comes in. He has to kite back yet again. The boys are pulled back right as they thought they could go back to work. And 15 of them cut down. Another warp prism is coming. He's just going to warp it at point-blank range and try to get on top. He's just going to keep going. He can't let the medevacs recharge. He can't let the ghosts recharge. He can't let the stims go unpunished. But, well, he's killed SCVs. herO's down to... He will throw everything. Everything! The warp prism is taken down mid-warp, and Clem has double the supply. Another warp and a charge lots, but that's literally everything. His entire army sent over and over and over again. But Clem, again, takes it out. One of the most action-packed, hectic games I've ever seen. 80,000 resources lost in 21 minutes. That's a near record. I think only beaten by Raynor versus Clem in some of their TVZs. And only because Zerg can usually mine some more resources more quickly. But what a game! herO, almost making it work. He just seems to know something. That it reminds me of Zest, who would just attack, and the attack would work despite the mathematical inconsistencies. Because his opponents flinch, like, wait, you don't have enough. How are you, what are you doing? And then it just starts working because they're so busy trying to figure out why they're attacking as opposed to how to defend it. I think we saw a few instances of that with Clem, like, wait, are you, what? Why is your army here? But because the army was there, possession is 9/10 of the law. And the other 10th is drugs and guns, though, unfortunately. So, hell yeah, brother. Clem holds. And we go to King's Cove. herO showing that he can hang with them. In fact, it felt like he outran him for a while and forced Clem to catch up, but... Huh. Such a different style from Max Pax. If Max Pax is like a symphony of Protoss, herO is like a mariachi band. If Max Pax is an epic poem, then herO is Gundam style. It's certainly a more flamboyant, more dramatic, and more attention-grabbing style. And even Clem caught off guard by it. All right. Now, this is by far the largest map in the pool. They designed it after your mother. So, there is our is simply so much space. Though you can cut down on it if you... herO. So Stargate, right? Yep. Proxy Stargate, and I'm not willing to commit. Now, the Reaper scouted. Probably more for gateways than Stargates, but I don't believe either player scouted otherwise. Nope. No info. Nothing. So, we will see. herO. Well, it really depends on what Clem does. Because if Clem does not go Widow Mine or Cyclone, which seems rare, but he's surprisingly aggressive with those Hellions, then an Oracle can very well work. The downside of this is there's no chance to energy recharge because it's so far from the base. But the thing is, against Terran, usually energy is not the limiting factor. Like, obviously you'd like to have more stasis wards, Revelation, but at the same time, the main value of the Oracle is getting in before they have a response. There's going to be a mine. Will he just burrow it? He's going to put it at the front. So that means, will herO just fly in blind? There could be a mine anywhere in there. Wow. Wow, he does not care. What a gamble that is. The Widow Mine easily could have been there. There's no... He didn't even slow down, like, to check for it. The Adepts... Well, he found the Widow Mine, at least, I guess. There's another one coming out. Oh, the Marines popping out of the barracks, and he spots the mine burrowing, hidden by that orbital dish over there. Terran's so cheeky about their mine placements. By that I mean some bullshit. Yep. Gonna try to thread the needle here. The mine has recharged in the natural. He just comes in. He knows it's there. Yeah, well, oh my god. Oh my. herO, oh, this is madness. Wow. Skirting the edge of destruction. The tripwire is right there, and herO just keeps flirting with it. Meanwhile, Clem with a devastating 7 unupgraded Marines and a medevac counterattack. Actually, supply blocks herO. Hard supply block. No pylons on the way. Oracles come back to defend. So, gonna drop out into the main. Oracle lights up, but it, well, huh. That's all I gotta say. There's, treacles! Clem just boosts away because the Oracle, with a glaring lack of anti-air capabilities, might be able to target down one. Now Clem just rallied more Marines across the map. Here we go. Vikings will show up as well. Lights up the treacles. And 2 Oracles down. Viking getting a lot of damage done, but will be taken down in turn. And herO, actually. Huh. I don't know. What is over here now? He's slapping down another gate. I think herO won that. Well, he lifts up the Oracle, which means that, he lifts up the Cyclone, which means the Oracle has nothing to do there, but he slaps Revelation. There is no blink. He's going straight to charge with the Twilight Council. Now, if he had blink, he might be able to win the game right now, as there's nothing in the main. He's just now putting together. Wow, he's threatening. He's pretending. He knows he doesn't have blink, but Clem can't know that. In fact, honestly, I have no idea why he didn't go blink. Not sure herO knows why he didn't go, but that's not important. What's important is he thinks it's going to be blink, and now, once again, herO is exploiting the fact that Clem is a sane, rational, smart player. And herO is a smart, sane, smart player. So, he knows that Clem knows that Blink Stalkers are a major threat. So Clem is just gonna sit back. herO takes a 4th base. He takes a 4th, he's building like nothing else right now. Clem, he's just got Clem sitting in his base all huddled up like, we're gonna get those Blink Stalkers when they come in here. Nope, you're gonna be waiting a while. A hallucinating Colossus gives him some high ground vision. herO is playing him like a, what is up? I was trying to come up with a French instrument, and French horn sounded a little cliche, but he's playing him like a French horn. Yeah, it just sounds weird. And anyways, the Colossus, I don't think he realizes it's a hallucination. Taking a lot of damage. He will now. You weren't lost. That reference almost as old as Clem. But herO knows the map is dark and full of Terran, so he's lighting it up. He has vision everywhere, including inside of Clem's base. Here we go. The observer on top of everything. The charge lot's just running in. Charge lots are definitely the big losers. Or winners, I guess. Because they like charging in the glorious battle of this series so far. But extended thermal lance is on the way. Okay. All right, things calm down a bit. What a great series. What? Stop right there, criminal scum. The single force field trap with the charge lots. Oh, herO. He got his good nerve cords out today. Wow, the little dots on the minimap. What even? That's a pylon. He's just got spylons everywhere. Probe. That's a real Colossus. Oh, picks up the Marauders, gets them out. But herO is in pole position right now. He's got 4 going on 5 bases. What an aggressive expansion. Extended Thermal Lance is done. And herO, I don't think there's any reason, if I know herO, based on this series and in general, he's just gonna go. Like, there's no more timings to wait for. Yes, it's 5 bases to 3, but there's no reason not to start trying to break in here. He's got the, he's getting 6 bases! The Blink Stalkers are just walking up the ramp. He's got double the bases. Right now, herO is incredibly based. So, meanwhile, Clem, not nearly as much. The Blink Stalkers, oh, but the Widow Mines, he's gonna try to dodge, but gets eaten by a Disruptor. He's chewing up the defenses. Well, the Disruptors wandering up here. This is the focal point. This is the anvil here. Clem, the iron, and herO, the hammer. The 4th base is where he needs to bring that hammer down and ideally crush Clem underneath it. Will Clem be able to hold against the onslaught? Or will herO have too much? Here we go, Colossi, including a hallucinated one for extra flavor. Disruptors coming up, still not firing. The Colossi being driven back, fires off a double barrel volley. Siege tank getting a lot of damage done. And herO, in typical herO fashion, has potentially bungled this. Though the general, wow, beautiful split by Clem. herO may have lost this battle, but he's definitely winning the war. There's 2 Colossi still out here. Those are real. And dozens more charge lots. He's got 13 gateways. Meanwhile, the zoning Ruptor, as he gets on top of the base, another one. He fires him onto the ramp. The planetary falls. Clem gonna try to chase down the Colossi. But just like his supply, they will tumble. The Widowmines are taken out. The Ruptors, he spotted the Observer because the Widowmines were taken out. GG! Clem just taps it out. Always decisive in everything he does. But herO strikes back with a vengeance. Wow. What a game. And thank you again to Wardi for putting on these weekly tournaments, as some stability in our StarCraft 2 lives is something we desperately need. And thank you for helping to sponsor it, because I support it on a monthly basis. I use some of the Patreon. I'm trying to use about half of whatever we get on Patreon to support community tournaments. Not a hard and fast rule, but feels like a good thing to do. Mutually beneficial, all right? If these tournaments weren't going on, I might have to organize my own, and that sounds like a lot of work. Just like playing any of these games as we go into game 3. So thank you. What, herO, what are you doing? I don't... It's a Max Pax build. Not anymore. 2-gate proxy. Well, this is certainly one way to do it. Coming off that, probe comes in. I believe it was the correct timing for a normal probe scout, which, trying to sell Clem on the idea that totally normal macro build, don't worry about it, bro. Two zealots. Zealots? I mean, yes, but... Huh. Does he hold them until he has Stalkers of the Cybercar? Also, this probe. Is he gonna get a kill? Is he gonna stick around? The Reaper! herO! Get the probe out of there! Oh, the Reaper gets distracted a little bit by the reactor building. He's chasing the probe. He's... Ah, yes. The suspicion level. He's got like 2 stars in GTA right now. This probe. Now will the stars be cleared? Or, well, when the Reaper gets across the map, which will be about the same timing the Zealots come in. Unfortunately for herO, Clem, this is not too out of the ordinary. Building his expansion on the high ground. And also, more fortunately, the reactor is part of the wall. So, it's a bit of a weaker point to go through. But, now he just got 4 Zealots. Unfortunately, the Reaper will be the first one getting kills. As the probes, the shield battery just in time to save the rest. And he's slicing down the door. The Stalkers? Well, the SCVs are all repairing. Clem actually doesn't have that much money. Repair only costs 1/4 the price of whatever you're repairing, relatively, so... What?! The Zealot gets bounced into the... Ah, let me in! That's some real 300 shit right there. Wow, he bounces the Zealot over the depot. But the Cyclone comes out. So, it's getting more and more... Well... Honestly, now just give the Protoss Reaper grenades. Amazing. Huh. Adept. Actually, continue. Shades through. Second Cyclone. This... If he was able to break the reactor, or if Clem expanded on the low ground, those both could have been opportunities. But Clem handled this just about perfectly. So, it seems like herO's cheese will not be tolerated. There is... The Reaper as well. The fact that Clem has 2 command centers is priority. Yeah, the siege tank gonna help carve out some space here. And the command center ready. Oh, he's got sentries on the low. herO, wake up! He does, but that siege tank on the ramp is going to zone out the rest. The force field was a fun idea, but the siege tank was a even more effective one. Is he just gonna land it? Of course he is. He unsieged the tank. He's gonna try to force field the ramp again, maybe? Guardian shield? Yeah. Those are my thoughts. That's my best commentary. Alright, don't quote me on that. I was just doing my best Overlord impression. Who let the Overlord into the Terran versus Protoss? You get back over... Brenda, shut up! They're gonna hear you! No, they're just hearing the voices again. No, shh. Sorry. And then it just ends. Clem 2-1. All right, game 4. We're going into ley lines. So, I was going to take that game. It was feeling like time to do some pontificating. I hope... Well, I should probably wait to see if any workers go out, or I just get started right off the bat. But, I talked about it at the start. But if you're watching this when I have 10 million subscribers and StarCraft 3 is out and you're wondering how I became the household name, both in and outside of Korea, well, here we are. But as of hopefully today, I'm going to hit 250,000 subscribers, 250,000, and almost 50,000 or around 50,000 just the last year. And here's some more transparency. I think some things have combined. Well, one, it was about 2-3 years ago where I said every day, we worked it out, a new strategy, a new tactic, just like you see in the clickbait titles every day. But the new strategy is we'll start at 1,000 likes. And then every day, gonna add one more. Give or take. Don't always remember exactly, with some special cases. And here was the thing. Before that, even getting kind of a similar amount of views, we're not always getting 1,000 likes. And while it's tacky and annoying, it works. And hopefully makes it feel a little bit more like you're part of the whole experience. And I don't think it takes too much away from the fact that we're doing like an hour-long series and begging for metrics for a minute or two. At first, I didn't like it, but I did like the results. And now, I'll admit, I like it a bit. So hopefully you do as well. And subscribing might not be nearly what it once was. YouTube has come out and admitted. Literally, they have videos, these are public videos, where they talk about the algorithm, where they're like, your YouTube feed is for you, and who you subscribe to at this point really only matters if you watch videos from the subscriptions feed. Because subscribing to someone doesn't guarantee you'll see their videos, ever. So a lot of people will come in and say, Winter, you title every single video, please watch this video, best video ever. That's because those are the videos that are getting pushed out to the most people. You're missing the half a dozen other videos with new strategies that aren't really new, but are relatively new and uncommon nowadays, and are used to keep the more regular viewers interested. But if you think every single video is clickbait, that's because those are the ones that work the best. But I digress. Just because YouTube doesn't show videos from people you subscribe to you, doesn't mean I don't like having more subscribers, obviously. And I think there's still a percentage, small, yet well-cultured. Shout out to you who actually look at the subscriptions feed. Because that still works. That's the only thing that still works fine in this day and age. And thank you to the players for giving me this generic opener, by the way, so I can pontificate. Now, I don't like necessarily playing the YouTube game, but I do like succeeding at it. And I try. It's a little rough, though, as a pretty hardy narcissist myself. I think you kind of gotta be to do this most days. I do listen to my cast and other casters as well to try to improve. And it's very hard to be objective, so I do rely a lot on the comments that people make of the jokes and running commentary and stuff like that. I do my best. I've always tried to make mirror matchups more of a thing, especially now day and age. The reason you don't see them is because either YouTube doesn't push them or nobody watches, or some combination of the two. I try. Every few weeks we'll try. But that's part of why you don't see those. This is just turning into the state of the YouTubes, but here we are. Again! Fool me once, and apparently I will be fooled again. A second unit trapped by the probe in the little gap. What a play. But I still really enjoy it. It gets a little hard sometimes to find a variety of games, because even though I could watch Clem beat up most Protoss players 4 times a day, every day, I find that isn't as successful. You gotta space it out a bit. But that is not a small percentage. It used to be Dark every day. Now it's Clem versus Max Pax or herO every day is the regular matchup. But I truly hope you enjoy. I do my best. Sometimes there are actually casts you don't see because I get 30 minutes into it and I just decide it ain't it. So that's not a regular basis, but it does happen for sure, so. And another thing that does happen is Blink Stalkers getting into the main base. Not all of them getting out, though. But 3 Adepts at the natural. The combo attack from herO. Actually finding some real success. It appears we don't have the worker counter up because somebody forgot to add the observer mod on this one, which is probably why we actually have the skins working. As I talked about before, the observer mod that gives us all the cool counters and everything, which is different than the replay interface, by the way. You can find my custom replay interface on my Discord if you're interested. It's slightly modified from the one used in many tournaments, because I like having the numbers for the income and the gas and all that. But the observer mod disables skins to create a competitive environment. I think it's dumb, but I digress. But it also gives the like upgrades finishing on the side and the workers killed counter. So if you don't see it and workers are obviously dying, you just gotta look the old-fashioned way. And it has to be the game originally hosted on that sort of situation. So where were we though? Definitely, I picked the right game. I mean, that's part of the experience. Picking the right game to pontificate on. But I hope it makes your days a little bit better. Just like all these players still playing. I hope we get some more stable news for StarCraft 2, but either way, I plan on bringing more good games for the fans. Just thank you for watching. Disruptors already from herO. Does he have 3 Colossi? 2 Colossi. A little under that regular number, but still definitely difficult for the Terrans to engage. Wow. Both just sitting back. Honestly, it's been an exhausting few games. I'm not surprised we're going to take some time to just chill out for a bit. Really just, wow. It's almost like whiplash here. I'm getting lulled into a false sense of security as both players just continue to sit back and build up. This is how other people play TVP. But good to get a contrast here. And now, besides that Blink Stalker aggression, we've got our very first herO. Quite low on supply for this stage of the game. Clem, 155. The key part here is Clem has all his production up. He's got 5 racks. He's got 3 bases already. Starport factory. And then he just shoots his commands. What the hell? Clem! That was a big one. That was an MMA level misclick. That's another reference that's almost as old as Clem, but wow. Hydra just GG'd somewhere in the distance. Somehow he's the common denominator in these, but wow. Okay. We're still chilling. Dark Shrine joining the Disruptors for the double Ds of destruction. I don't understand. Was there some sort of non-aggression pact? herO has vision across the map. Looking very good on that front. And looking at all the fronts simultaneously. Raven. Just gliding over the lava. We are 9.5 minutes in. The Spylon doesn't quite see it. Does Clem know it's there? No, just happened to be in a good spot. Alright, they're maxed out. Something's gotta give. Blink Stalkers go forward, eating the tank hits, but will trigger the Widowmine shots so the Disruptors can snipe him off. Not sure. Well, he's barely in range of a siege tank. So these small buff to Ruptors with the newest patch, now several months old, but the radius increase means it's a little easier to get in range of tanks. Of course, they do less damage, so I believe it still only takes 2 hits to kill one of those tanks, though. So, am I right about that? Yes. 175 HP. Disruptor volley actually gonna connect completely. The opening salvo just slamming into both ghosts and marauders. Now, 4 robos on the way. He's going from 2 to 2 more. herO closing in. He's working on the 4th base. He's got 5 bases of his own. Another disruptor volley on top of the tanks. And the Vikings hit the deck. And now a triple shot comes out. Hits the Vikings, but it's not enough damage to kill him. He unleashes the rest of the Ruptors. He doesn't have any more shots in the tank. Oh, what did we say about blowing your whole disruptor load so early? Gonna take advantage of that. They will recharge, and the Colossi coming down at the right time. The Colossi were actually in reserve this whole time. He didn't have them with the fight. Blugs forward. Another disruptor shot comes through. Another shot picks off a Viking. And what is this? 4 auto turrets. The Blink Stalkers being warped in actually gets several more probes killed. But Clem's 4th base again going to be the anvil. As herO fires the shots past, knocks out some of the ghosts. The SCV is giving the group hug to the planetary to make sure it stays intact. The Blink Stalkers stagger blinking backwards. Another disruptor volley. Continues. The planetary's holding. herO might be making the classic mistake of breaking on a planetary. The Vikings, not quite enough to take down the Colossi. Disruptor shots continue to be thrown out. The Marines and Marauders trying to close in, and herO trying to close out. He has money in the bank. That planetary is holding, though. There's no further real tech on the field, just upgrades in production. herO still has plenty of economy, though. There's a bit of a counterattack. Not sure what's happening over there. Disruptors get to point-blank range, obliterating some of the SCVs. Now firing past. The planetary is still holding. Only has 13 kills, but it's added so much damage. The army is mostly disruptors. He's got 11 Ruptors now. He's dodging Ruptor hits, both by flying with the Vikings and picking them up into medevacs. 4 Robo-Ruptor. Not sure what happened over near the center of the map, but it appears herO's worker count is still comfortable enough. He's now building double Immortal, double Colossus, because his army is, it's just too disruptor heavy. All right, fires off another shot. The siege tank's helping to zone out, but he has a disruptor off cooldown pretty much every single shot. You've got about 2.5 seconds on that Purification Nova, and he has enough disruptors to always have one firing. The semi-auto disruptor build. He usually likes to fire in bursts here. Another volley. Clipping more and more units. The Colossi making sure that smaller amounts of units can't easily be split off without being taken out themselves. And some Blink Stalkers find a command center over to the 9 o'clock position. herO's been hammering on the southern base. The planetary has been rebuilt several times over. But Clem kind of looking away. Disruptors will land. The SCV's not enough. Some of the disruptors on the base. And Clem broke before the planetary did. He GG's before the planetary falls, which actually feels a little disrespectful. But that brings us to game number 5. herO holds the line and turns it all around. Well, we're going to El Dorado. Inappropriate. So far, if herO's able to limit Clem to 3 bases, Clem just unable to move out. herO's way of beating Clem so far is just keeping his feet to the fire, and the fire being like 17 disruptor hits. So that brings us to game number 5. herO scouting at the beginning. What? What? Is this a Max Packs build? He's gonna mine through the mineral wall. Probe comes in. He's actually blocking the racks, of all things. He delays it by 4 or 5 seconds, which actually may end up making the difference. Okay. Well, he already tried the proxy gates, but it's just one. This is the Max Packs build. Just one gate out on the map. Though, usually you don't just put it down the center. herO putting his own incredibly forward and in-your-face twist on it. At least Max Packs would try to hide it a little bit, but herO's like, this is just a speed bump on my way to harassing his workers. Just the way Blizzard intended. So, there is a cyber core back at home. No reason to put the cyber core out of the map, obviously. What? Where are you? What? Oh, he just touches the watchtower. I'm like, is he gonna go through the mineral wall somehow? You know how many probes that would take? It would take 4 probes. 4 probes mining across the map, which is not going to happen. Or you can do the assimilator, like, gas exchange trick, which, not a real thing. Not at least at this level. The Zealot. So, Clem has not scouted at all. He's about to be in for quite a rude...
Surprise, motherfucker.
And he takes 2 hits! The grenade! Oh my god! He almost did it! You know how hard it is? That is such a near... It is effectively impossible, by the way, to dodge the Adept in that scenario. But Clem actually hit the timing. He just wasn't quite far enough away to delay the shot. But his timing was impeccable. His defense is impregnable. Feeling... Well, the fact he killed that Reaper definitely makes this a lot more complicated. There is a Cyclone on the way, but he may break through the depot. It's either going to cost him the depot or the SCVs. So far, Clem juggling this near perfectly, as he has with almost everything so far. Well, here comes the Cyclone. There's a sentry on the way, which I guess the cheapest possible option when you're also trying to expand. Does he have any production? He does have 1 gate at home. A 3rd gate is on the way. Meanwhile, Adepts. Wait, the Cyclone completely out of position. Again, herO showing up with way more units than Clem was ready to deal with. Force Field could make the difference. He's really looking for it. Both players, he locks on, tries to snipe the sentry, doesn't happen. Constantly, he's just still warping it. It's just straight up 3-gate. Clem probably suspecting either a Stargate or some sort of transition. herO's taking a 3rd. 3 gates, 3 Nexi. Oh, herO. Guardian Shield pop doesn't help against the Cyclones. Immediately taken out. Juggles the SCVs back before taking any serious losses. Gonna pull some more off the line, but now 3 Cyclones splitting their damage. Will get it done. 3 SCVs dead. herO actually has an 8-worker lead now. So, and now the Stalkers just continue to be warped in. 3 Cyclones is quite a threat, but there's enough Stalkers to potentially break through. herO again. Just the constant aggression, the knife edge ready to cut through. Clem just now adding production. And, well, now what? This is... he has no tech. It's just gateway units, which usually are terrible. But because he's kept Clem's tech so atrophied at this point, I actually have no idea. I've never quite seen this scenario. herO seems to create these sort of scenarios almost every game, but Clem continually trying to bring him back to sanity, snap him back to reality, but we'll see if there's any more hallucinations or plays to convince Clem that he's not as far behind as we actually know he is. It's 3 bases to 2. Like, it's not even close economically now. herO is going to have a significant lead unless Clem he scouted the base. But 50 to 39 workers. And he's building 3 at a time versus 2. He's got charge on the way. So looking to meet this directly on the field. Well, Cyclones lock on. Siege tanks out on the field as well. Moving forward. Eats 1 hit. Shield battery drained and the pylon taken out. But the force fields, well, without Blink, this is going to be very difficult to deal with. The Liberator was held on to until this moment. So Clem, without charge is still so far off. Well, I think he gets this Nexus. A very bare bones attack, but those bones are very strong. 5 more gates completing. herO's already expanded to the north side, but Clem has a 3rd command center in production as well. herO hard supply blocked. 84 over 70. He's not going to have Blink to chase, but the charge lots might be able to get sun damage done. The Stalkers doing their weird mating dance patrol yet again. But overall, there was a probe, which a medevac double tank drop takes out and then heads home because, of course it does. Meanwhile, the Spylon is spotted. Clem now loads up Marines. And +1 is on the way for both sides, but Clem much further along. herO now sending out a counterattack to the north. The Spylon to the south will be taken down. Stim completed for the Marine. And herO, again, going to find himself in an awkward position. At least from our perspective. I imagine from Clem's perspective. I don't know how herO interprets it. I feel like he has a different lens through which he views the world. And that lens is allowing him to be very competitive with the world champion. And in a way that almost no one is. The triple clone, though, hunts down some of the charge lots. There's going to be a single... Is that the same Liberator? Yes. There's only been 1 Liberator this whole game. None have been taken out. Right? Wow. Clem's lost almost nothing. Wow. Clem's lost 13 Marines, a Reaper, and 3 SCVs. For a Nexus, a gate, multiple pylons, like a dozen gateway units. This has not gone well on paper for herO, but I feel like that's not something he uses on a regular basis. The build orders are more of an idea. Like, what kind of feng shui does this build have? All right. Do the chakras align? Are the nerve cords entwined? Have the balances wind? And have we looked at the supply? 157 to 126 supply as Clem is closing in. But herO does have multiple sentries, +1 ground weapon seconds away. And he finishes it. The leaky force fields might be able to pick up the front line, and suddenly the force fields are working against herO. Unfortunately, as the tanks are shelling over the top. herO. Forge, second forge on the way. Colossi, extended thermal lance. Clem picks up 4 medevacs of units. The zealots are about to be at the watchtower and meet them. Instead of going around, Clem will just show his hand and ask herO how he's going to deal with it. Stalker took out the spotting marine. 1 marauder heading home. Is he the lucky one or the unlucky one? It's unclear. $40 supply, give or take, in those medevacs. Headed towards the south. The main army headed towards the north. herO, mass expanding as always. He's going to have 5 bases against 3. Is there enough in the main to deal with this? The siege tank unsieged. Finally finishes up. Actually going to get... No shots off. But it's just Blink Stalkers against Bio. And that matchup doesn't go great. He target fires the Marauders well. The scan down the center as the Terran army is in between everything. But here come the charge lots swinging in. The Widow Mines will wipe out dozens of them. The Marines and Marauders left at bay for now. There's still some Colossi, but the main base, the Marines won the fight. Oh no, he's tearing them apart. He recalls a smattering of units to the main to try to deal with this, but the medevacs will pick up and get out. And that means, Clem, the field is opened up and so is the supply. 177 to 110. herO has played fast and loose with his unit composition, with his strategy, but Clem able to lock it down in Game 5, and that is a deficit I don't know if he's capable of overcoming. Down goes another Colossus. The Vikings over the top. The Immortals will crumble. Another Colossus steps up, but the main base will be knocked down. The Cyber Core taken out. Half a dozen probes. The Nexus to the top left. herO's down 100 supply. Oh, and after a hard-fought and heartbreaking series, Clem will claim victory. 3-2. One of the most dramatic and dynamic sets of games that I've seen in, well, possibly since yesterday when I saw herO play again. But I can't recommend the contrast with herO versus Gumiho if you haven't seen it as well. That'd be awesome if you could check it out. But thank you again for watching. Thank you for 250,000 subscribers. I'm optimistic we'll get it today and have it into the future. Thank you for those who have the means and motivation on Patreon. A Mule Tip patrons, Big Jiggy, Dork, Mario N for bringing in the extra minerals. Thank you to Wardi for always putting on such great community tournaments. I hope to support more in the future and in general. But I hope it made your day a little bit better. Thank you, truly, for watching. I'll see you next time. Good luck. Have fun. Stay chill.